Hi guys, my name is Carolina Steele, and if you enjoyed that sequence, please give it a thumbs up and stay tuned so I can tell you how we did that commercial. So, as I was browsing the internet, I encountered a few YouTube videos that totally inspired me and gave me an amazing idea. I also wanted to create my own product commercial. Great, the problem is that my studio looks a little bit like this. So no problem, I called my friend Mike Studley, who's not only a rad DP, but a rad friend, and I told him, hey, Michael, I have an issue. And he said, Carolina, let's make shit happen. My first advice to you is to learn how to create a good, concise storyboard. To make this template, I basically used InDesign, which is my favorite program to utilize if I'm gonna make a storyboard. And once we were ready with this, we were ready to shoot. I picked a savage yellow background because the color is just amazing and beautiful, and I knew that it was going to pop. For this commercial, we utilized the Aperture 300D as the key light, and we also utilized with a honeycomb coming into the left as the fill light. We also utilized quasar lights that were either lighting the background or were also lighting the subject. We were just moving it around depending on whatever we needed for the shot. Once Mike and Collin had set up, I was making sure I got my team ready for our first opening shot. I had to be super resourceful and use gaffer's tape, a spatula, and a brick. Yes, a brick. If you tell me, this is probably the most dangerous shoot I've ever been to. But our challenge here was to actually nail focus as the camera came down and met the cereal box. And so we finally did it, and we were ready to move on. For our second shot, we still stayed on the glider. Basically had the spoon cover the whole lens. In post-production, we made the frame swirl a little, and it came looking beautifully. Because we didn't want to waste our Fruit Loops, we had to be careful about the following shot. If we didn't nail the first couple of takes, we knew we had to go and run to the supermarket to get more cereal. That was probably our worst nightmare. Just kidding. It was eating the Fruit Loops. That was our worst nightmare. I used the Rhino glider, and I absolutely loved it because not only can you lock the frame, but you can tell the actual glider how you want the shot and how you want to tilt it and pan and whatever you want to do. We made sure to have a towel underneath so any milk that spilled out or any wet cereal was trapped and concealed, and we could move on without making so much of a mess. And we actually nailed the shot on our first day. So personally, when I looked back at my storyboard and I saw cereal falling, just compared to every other shot that I had prepared, I thought this was going to be the most boring one, right? I mean, cereal falling, how fun, how special could that possibly be? But I was absolutely wrong. I really enjoyed doing the shot because we got lucky and we had some crystal platters and the Fruit Loops ended up bouncing off of them. It just looked so good. We feel with this shot, what we did was make it breathe a little bit. And this will happen to you sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have your storyboard and you're going to be super excited because you prepared a game plan. But on the day of the shoot, you're going to realize that some things don't work. Just because of framing, just because of the lenses that you're using, because of the lighting, because of many different creative things that could possibly happen on set. This is the time where you can drive away a little bit from your storyboard and get creative. Now, out of the whole sequence, I think my favorite shot was the Fruit Loops rotating. We were going to use a paper clip, but too crooked, and then we decided to use a toothpick as an extension for the Fruit Loops. This shot had to be done with the probe lens. Let me just say something. This lens is so impressive. I mean, look at this shot. If you can see my fingerprints, you could probably also see my soul with it. My inner secrets. I mean, that's scary. Only downside for this lens is that its minimal aperture is 14. If you were thinking to shoot a vlog with this beautiful lens, think again because you're gonna need a lot of light. So for our final shot, this happened to me. I had to get a little bit creative, so I took a few of the Fruit Loops and then I had to make a heart and a house which represented "At love, stay home." That was going to be the tagline. With a little bit of patience and a little bit of Gorilla Glue, we were ready to finally rock and roll. Two issues that we didn't foresee was the fact that our cardboard was going to float, so we just had to tape that with a rock onto the surface of it, and voila. And our second issue is that the rocks that we used to put at the bottom of the plate were actually dirty. So you can actually see some specks and dust onto our milk, but definitely we had to clean the milk several times before the dust was finally out of the frame. I don't know who needs to hear this, but always wash your rocks before a shoot. Then we taped some fish line to the bottom of the plate. Michael pulled, Collin shot, and I cleaned the rocks, and this is what we got. I really hope that you guys liked this video. Please give it a big thumbs up for the algorithm, and I just want to say thank you again to my friends Michael and Collin. Leave me a comment down below on what you thought and what your favorite shot was. I'll see you guys later, and stay tuned for more. Bye bye.